3 facts about Heatblast that you didn't know. Number 1. In Omniverse, his voice sounds like Ghost Rider, another Marvel Comics superhero with fire-based powers. Number 2. He was the first to appear in the entire Ben10 series, and in Alien Force, Swampfire, who also possesses fire abilities, was the first to transform. This was also the first alien mutation for Kevin, and the first transformation for both Gwen and Alpha. The first transformation by Zed was Crabdozzer, the predator of Pyranites. Number 3. Among all of Ben's aliens who have eyes, he is the only one who never had green-colored eyes. Concept drawings of Ultimate Alien's opening and ending credits incorrectly depicted him with green eyes. This was fixed in the final version. What do you think would happen to his eyes if Albedo transformed into him? Comment down below. 3 facts about Wildmutt that you didn't know. Number 1. He is Ben's only alien that is incapable of verbal speech due to lacking the vocal anatomy to do so. However, the Ultimatrix appears to fix this problem with Ultimate Wildmutt. Number 2. He was the first Ultimate form to be hinted on the DVD cover of Ultimate Alien named The Wild Truth. His sentient counterpart did not appear in the Ultimate Sacrifice, even though the synopsis said that all of the sentient Ultimate forms want freedom. He is the last Ultimate form used by Ben on screen. Number 3. One of the crew members believes that the Null Void Vulpimancers who appeared in Truth are an older or mature version of the Vulpin Vulpimancers. He does not know if gender differences were mentioned during the original series run. As an extra tip, Wildmutt's toys did not sell well. Which alien is the least popular? Comment down below. 3 facts about Diamondhead that you didn't know. Number 1. He is the only alien other than Waybig to defeat Vilgax, and also the only alien other than Feedback to defeat Malware. Number 2. After the destruction of Petropia, and prior to the resurrection of the planet and its people in the Secret of Chromastone, Diamondhead and Tetrax were the only known Petrosapiens alive. Number 3. Diamondhead is not made of Tatanite, and his crystals have no value. 3 facts about XLR8 that you didn't know. Number 1. A common misconception about XLR8 is that the balls on his feet are referred to as wheels. This even occurs within the reboot. XLR8's visor is made up of his skin and part of his skull. Number 2. Originally, XLR8 was the only Kinoceleran on Earth because the slow rotation of said planet made other Kinocelerans sick after a few days. This was retconned in Omniverse as several Kinocelerans reside in Undertown. Number 3. XLR8 was the winner of a Cartoon Network Ben10 alien poll that only had the first 12 aliens. How would you rank him among the classic aliens? Comment down below. 3 facts about gray matter that you didn't know. Number 1. He is the second smallest alien in Ben's arsenal, the overall smallest being Nanomech. He is stated to be about 6 inches tall. Number 2. A running gag in the original series was that Ben turned into gray matter unintentionally in situations where his small size would be disadvantageous. He is also the first alien to stay in a whole episode due to an Omnitrix malfunction, the second being Wrath. Number 3. His DNA was the first DNA sample added to the Omnitrix. However, it came from neither Asmuth nor Albedo. Which do you think is smarter, Brainstorm or gray matter? Comment down below. 3 facts about Stinkfly that you didn't know. Number 1. Stinkfly may sound like he's smelly as everyone around him was complaining, but his name is actually derived from the oils he produces for his joints. His slime feels like a mix of rubber, cement, and warm oatmeal. Number 2. Lepidopterans are Dr. Animo's favorite aliens. Partly because of this, Lepidopterans are tied with Pyranites for being the species that has produced the highest number of unique hybrids. He created Mutant, a mixture of Lepidopterans, and Splixen, a species of Ditto, and Snakefly in the game. Number 3. In the Ben10 reboot series, Stinkfly underwent a significant change from his traditional appearance and ended up becoming just a guy wearing goggles. Comparing this version to the huge and beefed up Stinkfly from Ben10K, they don't seem like the same character at all. Which was the best Stinkfly's design? Comment down below. 3 facts about forearms that you didn't know. Number 1. In Goodbye and Good Riddance, a kid at Ben's school called Forearms Quad Hands until Ben corrected him. Forearms was first envisioned as a superhero named Strong Guy. Additionally, Handyman's name sounds similar to Handy Buddy, the name given to a cartoon character in Super Alien Hero Buddy Adventures that is based off Forearms. Number 2. Dave Johnson designed Forearms for the original series, which became the first design to get greenlit on the show. The most important one being that he had to make the secondary arms smaller than the primary arms so that they would not jut out. Number 3. The pyramids of Giza were built by his species with the assistance of humans, as well as 2 Galvans. Originally, they seemed fairly Bronze Age-y for their level of technology. This was changed in Omniverse. Who's stronger, Forearms or Humungosaur? Comment down below. 3 facts about Ripjaws that you didn't know. Number 1. He is the only alien to appear in Ultimate Alien outside of the opening that does not have a speaking role. Number 2. He wasn't wearing a breathing apparatus because the original script did not intend for him to be used outside of water. Despite this, there were several instances where he emerged from the water and suffered from dehydration. Number 3. He was first envisioned as a purple crocodile-like creature under the name Razorjaws. Which alien do you want me to pick up next? 3 facts about Upgrade that you didn't know. Number 1. He is not able to mimic technology, and that his species' Mechamorph's guard having the ability was a production error due to someone on the crew not having the basic understanding of how Upgrade works. Number 2. Originally, his planet Galvan B was an uninhabited moon orbiting Galvan Prime, which was brought to life by an environmental disaster. In Alien Force, it was an artificial moon. This was retconned in Omniverse, as it is revealed that Galvan B was a natural, uninhabited moon, and the galvanic mechamorphs were brought to life after one of Azimuth's projects went awry. Number 3. Upgrade's voice sounds essentially the same as Ben's, albeit through a speaker. The reason for this is because galvanic mechamorphs cannot upgrade living tissue, thus making the merge with Ben's DNA incomplete. Do you think he can upgrade the Omnitrix? Comment down below. 3 facts about Ghostfreak that you didn't know. Number 1. In the Alliance, Ben wanted to use Ghostfreak to try and help an injured Max at the hospital by melding with him. This indicates that Ben already knew about Ghostfreak's ability to possess people, even though he never does this on screen until Ghost freaked out. Number 2. According to himself in the original series, Ben was always creeped out when he was Ghostfreak. Even 6 years later, he was still afraid to transform into him. When he transforms into Ghostfreak in Mystery Incorporeal, he states that he feels like himself, suggesting that Ghostfreak now exists independently from Zeskire. Number 3. Despite using him at least once to terrorize a city when Kevin was 11, he states he never liked Ghostfreak. This was likely due to feeling Zeskire's presence while as Kevin 11. Is he the strongest among the first 10 aliens? Comment down below. 3 facts about Wildvine that you didn't know. Number 1. The Omnitrix symbol on Gwen 10's version of Wildvine is circular like her male counterparts, instead of having a cat-like shape like Gwen's other aliens. The bulb-like hair of Gwen 10's Wildvine is similar to the hair of Princess Leia from the Star Wars franchise. Number 2. Wildvine's ultimate alien color scheme is similar to those of the Florana tribe found on Xenon from Secret of the Omnitrix. On his homeworld of Flores Verdants, the living mushrooms that appeared in Camp Fear also inhabit the area. There might be a connection between this and Ben accidentally unlocking Wildvine. Number 3. Myax, an intelligent scientist and former assistant to the Omnitrix creator, unwittingly incorporated Wildvine's DNA, unaware that the Florana donor was under the influence of Zeskire. How would it be if Ben could transform into a living mushroom? Comment down below. 3 facts about Cannonbolt that you didn't know. Number 1. His homeworld, Arburia, was destroyed by a massive creature known as the Great One. Ironically, it would ultimately be destroyed by Cannonbolt. Number 2. He was the first additional alien to be unlocked in the Omnitrix. He was also the only alien to be manually unlocked by Gwen. He was initially meant to be one of the original 10 aliens, but ended up being replaced with Diamondhead. After Season 2 of the original series, when Zeskire successfully escapes the Omnitrix and thus removing Ghostfreak from it, Cannonbolt replaces the latter in the intro for the 3rd and 4th seasons. Number 3. He is erroneously referred to as a Vulpinic Tortugan rather than an Arburian Pelorota on the back of his animation disc, released alongside his basic action figure in the original series toy line. This was corrected for future merchandise. Did you used to have alien toys? Comment down below. 3 facts about Ben Wolf that you didn't know. Number 1. In the original series, his tongue retracted and stowed itself away when his muzzle split. This is changed in Omniverse as his tongue stays in place and splits in half. Number 2. Ben originally called his Loboan form Ben Wolf because he thought the transformation was permanent. He was eventually renamed Blitzwolfer to avoid embarrassment after Kai asked him if the alien was still called Ben Wolf. Derek J. Wyatt came up with the working name Blitzwolfer, and it ended up being used as no one else came up with a better name. Number 3. Kai is fond of Blitzwolfer and thinks he is cute in a pet-like way. She has a photo of Blitzwolfer representing Ben's number on her cell phone. Ben mentions that he doesn't like to be treated like a pet, but from the looks of Blitzwolfer's tail, he seems happy. Do you like his Omniverse name? Comment down below. 3 facts about Ben Mummy that you didn't know. Number 1. At some point late in production for Season 3 of the original series, Snare-Oh's Omnitrix symbol was intended to be on his left wrist rather than his left shoulder. Number 2. Snare-Oh's placeholder name Ben Mummy was assigned to him by the credits for the return and toys during the original series. Therefore, Snare-Oh is one of 4 aliens whose working name had Ben's name in it, the other 3 being Blitzwolfer, Frankenstrike, and Nanomech. In Omniverse, the name Ben Mummy was replaced with Snare-Oh. Number 3. When asked if he can fold their hands like origami and shape them into weapons, similar to Diamondhead, Derek answered that they maybe can do so, though it would be like hitting someone with a paper-mache boulder. Do you like his new name? Comment down below. 3 facts about Ben Victor that you didn't know. Number 1. In the original series, Frankenstrike was considered to be Ben's second smartest alien. This was retconned in Omniverse, as hyperintelligence is not a common trait among Transilians. It is not that his race was smarter, but simply that Dr. Victor, whom the Omnitrix sampled, was smarter. Number 2. Similar to how humans have organ donors, Transillians can have their limbs replaced with those from another member of their species, but is much easier with no tissue rejection. One of the crew members believes that the generators on Transillians' backs are the product of some sort of nanite symbiosis. Number 3. Frankenstrike was considered to appear in the reboot, but did not make the cut as an electric alien for Ben because Shockrock was created for plot purposes. Which Anor Transil alien is your favorite? Comment down below. 3 facts about Upchuck that you didn't know. Number 1. He is the only known Omnitrix alien who can switch between the different races of his species. Azimuth's reasons for including both subspecies are unknown. Number 2. He has a unique ability where he can store consumed items in a trans-space bladder dimension within his stomach. This dimension is where gourmands, the species to which he belongs, store all the food they eat. He is connected to this dimension and can sense any danger to his people through his stomach. Additionally, he can carry around objects and living creatures in his stomach and release them without having to turn them into explosive vomit. Number 3. The reason Merc Upchuck had fewer appearances than Perk Upchuck in Omniverse is because Derek J. Wyatt believed Perks are the best Upchucks. He told Cartoon Network Consumer Products that they were making a toy for the wrong Upchuck, but they said it was too far along to change. Which do you like, Perk or Merc? Comment down below. 3 facts about Ditto that you didn't know. Number 1. In the original series, Ditto's clones were linked, so if one was hurt or killed, all the others felt the same pain or died. But in Omniverse, each clone became independent, breaking that connection. If the clones stray too far, Ben can't change back until they're near. When they're close and about to time out, they'll float up and merge together. Number 2. If Ben were to use Ditto with Scourge attached to the Omnitrix, only the original Ditto would have Scourge. If all the clones had to use Scourge's power, they would have to remain huddled together. Ben 23rd may not have an alternate counterpart to Ditto in his Omnitrix. If he did, however, then the alien's name would be Copy 2. Number 3. According to Ben's fan sites on the extranet, Ditto is his cutest alien. Do you think he's the cutest? Comment down below. 3 facts about Eyeguy that you didn't know. Number 1. Eyeguy's entire upper body is covered with around 20 green eyes, but he ironically has no eyes on his face. Instead, he has a mouth and a very large pair of elastic bat-like ears. Number 2. Eyeguy's eyes give him 360-degree vision, similar to the compound vision of an insect. This makes it extremely difficult to sneak up on him. Number 3. He can control and alter the many eyes on his body. He can move his eyes across his body's surface and merge them together to create one bigger eye. Do you find his appearance creepy or cute? Comment down below. 3 facts about Spitter that you didn't know. Number 1. Excluding Wildmutt, Spitter is the sole regular alien who has never spoken while on screen. But, strictly speaking, he was shouting his name when he transformed. Number 2. Derek J. Wyatt stated that Spitter was unlocked off-screen after Ben10, Destroy All Aliens, and is available to Ben in the present day. When asked if Benzaro has access to Spitter, Derek mentioned, "It seems like he has access to most of what Ben does." Number 3. The reason for Spitter's absence from Omniverse was due to the crew running out of time. They attempted to include as many aliens as possible during production, but Spitter never came up in any episode discussions. Don't forget to hit the like button. 3 trivia about Arctiguana that you didn't know. Number 1. Initially Ben 10,000 named this alien Absolute Zero, but upon 10-year-old Ben's suggestion, who thought the name was dull, it was renamed Arctiguana. Number 2. Arctiguana is characterized by a Jamaican accent in Omniverse, accompanied by the sound of wind whenever he speaks.
Arctiguana? Cool!
Number 3. The original design of the character Arctiguana, created by Thomas Perkins, was based on an unused concept for another character called Perk Upchuck. To ensure that the concept didn't go to waste, the design of Arctiguana was adapted from this unused idea. Don't forget to hit the like button. 3 facts about Waybig that you didn't know. Number 1. Waybig is a super rare alien called a Tokastar. These huge creatures come from crazy cosmic storms. Waybig is gigantic, almost 100 feet or 30 meters tall or even more. Number 2. The frill on Waybig's head is his biggest weakness. If someone hits it, it really hurts him and makes him dizzy for a while. Number 3. In Japan, there's a character called Ultraman, who's a lot like him. He's got this frill on his head, can grow really big, and shoots beams of light by crossing his arms. Maybe he's an alien who got inspired by Ultraman. Do you think he's the most powerful alien? Comment down below. 3 facts about Eon that you didn't know. Number 1. Excessive use of Eon's powers can cause his aging process does to speed up and weaken him. His time rays are ineffective against diamond-related beings like Petrosapiens, as they age slowly. Number 2. Eon was originally canon to the Prime timeline as of the first season on Alien Force. His belongs to the species called Cronian, and his transformation was retconned in Ben 10,000 Returns, when Eon's backstory was revised into an alternate version of Ben. Because he is no longer canon to the Prime timeline, Eon is one of 2 regular transformations that has never been used by Ben Prime on screen, the other being Spitter. Number 3. One of the crew members believes that Eon still exists as a transformation for an alternate version of Ben in the multiverse. He also believes that Ben could have had full control over Eon if the failsafe hadn't been deactivated. How would you rank him if he were to be existed? Comment down below.